And it sounds like a strong bio. A lot of viewers and a lot of Democrats at this point know you from your role, as I mentioned, on Intel and Judiciary on all this Russia stuff. And one of the questions I think that comes out of that is whether you were out too far before we got the Mueller report evidence on the issue of collusion. As I think viewers know, Mueller used a legal term and did not find a chargeable Russia-Trump conspiracy. You talk about collusion, and you've also, and I'm going to play this for you, talk about it pretty directly as if there was a personal link, a personal activity by Donald Trump established. Take a look.
All of the arrows continue to point to a personal, political, and financial relationship that Donald Trump had with the Russians.
Do you believe the president right now has been an agent of the Russians?
Yes.
Still not hearing the evidence that he's an agent of Russia.
Yeah, I think it's pretty clear. It's almost hiding in plain sight.
Do you believe that the Trump campaign colluded with the Russians in the 2016 campaign?
Yes.
Do you believe the president himself colluded with the Russians?
Yes. There was certainly evidence of collusion, not evidence that met the beyond a reasonable doubt standard, but this president in no way is cleared.
Do you accept the findings in the Mueller report that do not support some of those claims?
Well, I accept that I probably should have been out there a little bit earlier, because who knew how many links there were, 200 pages of links. I accept also, Ari, that prior Congresses did not have an imagination to see a president or a campaign have so many concerning conduct and not write laws to prohibit it. But it didn't meet the standard beyond a reasonable doubt. But here's what we know. The Russians helped Donald Trump.
Sure, but to be clear, so you're no longer maintaining that he is effectively a, quote, Russian asset?
No, I think he acts on Russia's behalf, and I challenge him to show me otherwise.
Well, I guess that's what I'm saying. You accept the findings or not. I mean, one could argue that Barack Obama at times was, again, what does the language mean? Barack Obama was advocating on behalf of Cuba's interests if some people are critical of his Cuba policy. You clearly, in those quotes, though, were discussing it at the level of a financial link or a conspiratorial collaboration, which Mueller's evidence doesn't support. So I want to find out, do you accept that?
No, there's evidence of collusion and coordination there. It doesn't go beyond a reasonable doubt, but that doesn't mean that this is a good guy. I mean, we know the Russians helped him. He asked the Russians to help them. The campaign expected to benefit from it. What we don't know yet is why won't he show us his taxes? Why won't he show us his finances? And look, Ari, if this guy is able to be blackmailed by a porn star, how do we know he's not going to be blackmailed by Vladimir Putin? And that's why we need to understand.
And this is the last question I'll do on this, and I'm going to move on. And I appreciate you being here to take the colloquy. Some candidates, you know, there's some people in Congress we can't even get on. So I appreciate it. But the last question I'm pressing you on, though, is, yes, you can ask all those tough questions, but are you or are you not maintaining the asset theory, even though a 400-plus page report from Mueller does not document that?
I think he acts on Russia's behalf too many times, and he puts their interests ahead of our interests. He pulled us out of Syria. He wants to reduce the role of NATO. He continues to pull back sanctions on Russia. He won't tell us what he talked about with Vladimir Putin, and he won't tell us anything about his finances with the Russians. He acts guilty, Ari.
Moving to other topics, and wanted to get you on the record on that.